Good day, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about preventing cuts in the workplace. You guys know who I am. My name is Barbara. I have Patricia Sartini here with me, and I also have a special guest. This is Neston. Neston is the manager of one of our elementary schools, and Neston's going to talk about some of the equipment that we utilize in the kitchen and some of the safety precautions to take in order to prevent some of the cuts. Okay, so Neston, did you know lacerations is one of the most common types of work injuries, especially in commercial kitchens? Thankfully, such incidents are largely preventable. Safety training plays a very important part in this, and the safety training is needed, right? Because the lack of established safety procedures, not paying attention, and failing to wear proper hand protection can cause injuries in your workplace, right? Therefore, adequate training is needed as to bring awareness of being safe when handling sharp objects in your kitchen.
Definitely.
Okay, right?
Yes.
So understanding the true cost of work injuries, to put it all in perspective, roughly 30% of all workers and workplace injuries involve cuts or lacerations, right? From scratches, abrasions, to needle sticks, puncture wounds, and even amputation. Okay? According to the Texas Bureau of Workers' Compensation, these are good reasons to help you stop and prevent and slow down those injuries in the workplace, right? So let's talk a little bit about some safety measures that we can take in our kitchens to help prevent those cuts.
Sounds good.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's talk about the knives in your kitchen.
Let me grab my cutting glove first.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, we are going to put the cutting gloves on our non-dominant hand. And I'm going to put on top of it a vinyl glove. So if I want to use for another thing, it won't get dirty. So this is a knife we are using in our kitchen. And with our non-dominant hand, we're gonna hold the food and work on with our dominant hand. Although this cutting glove doesn't really eliminate all the way cuttings, it will reduce the risks. And if you are very scared of cutting your hands, you can use another cutting gloves and put your and this is going to work. And just take the knife with also cutting gloves.
All right, it looks like you're ready to cut some food here.
Oh yeah.
All right. Way to stay safe. All right, so let's talk about a different type of blade that you have in your kitchen. So you guys use a food processor or RoboCoupe or something like that. They have blades, right?
They do.
All right, so let's talk about your RoboCoupe blade. How should that be handled?
So we have to be very careful. I guess it's better if you use with two cutting gloves, since it's a different kind of knife blades. Those are very scary, honestly, for me. So even I may get the cutting gloves for home too. So we're gonna put like these, so we don't wanna touch it, the knife blade. So we will be careful and protect ourselves.
Okay, so when you handle these, I'm gonna put on a cut glove as well.
Yeah, that's
So when you're handling the blade from the RoboCoupe, okay, you have to actually wash these as well. So I like to wear two gloves, like Neston said. So just in case if you're handling this, you got on both cut gloves, and it happens to slip, okay?
Yeah.
You never want to try and catch it. Let it go ahead and fall. But if you got on two cut gloves, it's going to help eliminate some of those cuts or abrasions that you may get from the blade, right? Because these are really, really sharp, right, Neston?
Yes,
Okay.
and we need to wash it by hand because it's blades.
So, okay, so we want to make sure that we are super careful when we're handling blades like this. All right, two cut gloves. I like that. All right, that's another blade you got to watch for in your kitchen. Okay, so let's talk about your Sunkist slicer. Everybody loves this machine,
Oh,
right?
we do.
And this one has mini blades, right?
Yes.
You pick these up. These are your actual blades inside the Sunkist slicer, right, Neston?
Okay, it has a lot of blades.
Lot of blades. Okay, Neston, how do you use those? And what
You
do you
kind of scaring me.
Picking
Hold
those
it without the cutting
Oh
glove.
no!
Oh no.
I should have a cutting glove. I got it
No.
on the edge, and Neston is right. I got it on this hand.
Okay, I'm
but
gonna
handling
give you
this
mine. Here we go.
No, you're gonna show them. Let's go, Neston. All right.
Okay. Whenever you're using a Sunkist slicer, you need to make sure you are using 2 cutting gloves. The reason why I'm talking about because this goes underneath like this. Well, it has an attachment. I don't know.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
And whenever you're gonna take it out, you're kind of pushing from here. So you don't want to touch those things here.
Blade.
Okay? So use the 2 cutting gloves.
Great job, Neston.
Okay.
Neston's basically talking about the blades inside of here. You don't notice these blades are really, really sharp too. We cut a lot of fruits and things with this, right? So even when you're catching, those blades in, it comes down, it catches it. You don't want to accidentally hit those blades, something like this that comes down, right? You don't want to actually touch the blades from underneath. And then like Neston said, when she's removing it, sometimes you have to push up, take your fingers underneath that, right, Neston?
Yes.
And push it up. So if you got a glove on this side, which this has a safety catch, you may have to use this hand here to pull that up, okay? So you take it off. Like she said, Neston said best practice is to use 2 cutting gloves, right, Neston?
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
because you're gonna have to go back and wash this as well. You're not gonna stick your hand in here because of the blades, but you can take a small brush and go in between the blades, right, Neston? Or you can spray it with the sprayer to get some of the tomatoes off or the
And mostly
cucumber.
it's like sugar from orange, right?
Yeah. So be very, very careful and know that these are sharp blades when you're using your Sunkist slicer as well. Okay. 2 cut gloves. I like that. 2 cut gloves. Safety first, right?
2.
All right.
Once I had a cook and she told me that I don't have to use the cutting gloves when I'm washing the blades. But I had to explain to her that it's more dangerous even to not to wear cutting gloves when you're washing because you may accidentally slip in the soapy water or something like that. And you may cut your finger or a hand accidentally and very fast. You may don't realize.
So Neston, we're going to talk about another dangerous piece of equipment that we use on a daily basis.
What else?
That is the box cutter.
Oh, why it's open? You're scaring me now. Okay, that's how it should be all the time.
Okay.
The blades has to be covered, so we will be protected. Also, don't forget to use the cutting glove on the non-dominant hand again if you're gonna use the cutting box cutter.
Thanks, Neston.
Okay.
Safety first.
Thank you, for sure.
All right, so Neston's going to demonstrate how to use the box cutter while opening up a box. Best practice is to make sure that you are wearing your cut glove when you open your box, okay? You're going to take the box cutter and start at one end from the center of the box. You're going to always cut away from the body. And then you're going to walk around to the other side of the box and cut the other end where your stopping point was from the middle. Okay? Best practice is to always make sure you're at the side of the box when you cut and you're cutting away from your body. All right, Neston. We utilize plastic wrap and foils on a daily basis. So when we use these products in our kitchen, is a cutting glove really required?
Cutting gloves is not required. So, but we're gonna make sure that whenever we're using the foil or a plastic wrap, we are very careful because the blades are very sharp and it may cause cut. So be careful.
All right, Neston. So we always talk about cut gloves, right? So why are the cut gloves so important?
This because the cutting gloves is the most effective PPE that helps you avoid nasty cuts while handling the knives.
Now, we talked about the importance of cut gloves, but here at Frisco ISD, we want to make sure that you know that it's required to wear a cut glove when handling any sharp objects, knives, blades, things of that nature. So always be careful and wear your cut gloves.
Sharp, sharp, knife, knife. Okay. The proper way to wash the knife is to scrub it nicely. So you make sure you remove all the leftover food on it. Then you're gonna wash it in the first compartment, rinse it, and sanitize it, and make sure to leave it there for 30 seconds. Once it's done, you're gonna air dry, but put it like that. So air dry it, and you're good to go. You can save it.
Now, we want to avoid cuts and lacerations in the workplace. The easiest way to reduce injuries through the workplace is to have workplace safety training. Okay? You should always discuss with your team on best practices of staying safe and preventing cuts and lacerations in the workplace. Now, we always get new hire, right? Okay? Anytime you get a new hire, you want to make sure that you are training them as well. Training is continuously. They have to be on board. They have to know how to stay safe, just like we all do, right? So anytime you get new hire, as well as your old staff, continue training on safety, preventing cuts, preventing lacerations in your operation. How do we treat those lacerations and cuts if we get them in our operation? In case of an injury, please notify your manager immediately, okay? Or get someone to assist you that's in your kitchen, like a coworker, okay? Because cuts are prone to infections. So you want to get those wounds clean immediately, place them under running water, and clean them for approximately 2 to 3 minutes with soap and water. And then you want to use an antibiotic ointment and cover that wound with an impingible bandage, and then also put a glove on it. Now, if that wound is bleeding excessively, okay, you want to apply direct pressure on that wound and try to stop the bleeding. If it doesn't stop, then you want to get medical attention, okay? You want to start with your nurse first if needed. She will direct you from that point, okay? But you definitely want to make sure that we stop the bleeding on those wounds. You always want to check on your team first. Make sure that they're safe. Make sure they're taken care of. Then make sure that you fill out the accident report as soon as possible on the same day. Okay? So right now I'm going to leave you with some safety tips. Okay? Anytime you're working in your kitchen, to help prevent any incident in your kitchen, you want to make sure that you slow down. Please slow down. Okay? Most accidents occur when you are in a hurry. So slow down. Avoid distraction. Anytime you're handling a blade or knife or working on a tomato slicer or sun-kissed slicer, make sure you're not distracted by anyone. Don't look off while you're cutting or using that blade, okay? This can cause cuts, lacerations on your hands or your fingers. So no distractions, okay? Never leave knives in your 3-compartment sink. A lot of times your wash sink is full of suds, right? So your knife could be sitting in the bottom of that. If you don't take it out, you leave it in there, someone can reach their hand in there, touch that knife, and cause a cut, okay? Never leave your knife in a 3-compartment sink. Another thing you can do is never catch a falling knife or a blade. That's our reaction. Let it fall, okay? Knives can be replaced, but guess what? Your fingers or your hands cannot be replaced, all right? So let it fall. Another thing, a dull knife is a dangerous knife. Always keep your knife sharp. It's going to help you to not have to apply pressure, which can cause your knife to slip. And guess what? Once it slips, it can cause you to get cut or some type of laceration on your hands, all right? So make sure your knives stay sharp, okay? Another thing is you want to remember to keep your knives in a safe place. When I say safe place, I'm talking about your knife racks. Once you wash, rinse, and clean them, you want to store your knives in the knife rack, okay? Right here. This is the best place for your knives, and this is going to help you prevent accidents with cuts and lacerations in your kitchen if your knives are not laying around on your counter, right? All right, so what I want you guys to do from this day forward, all right, stay safe, stay accident free, and we will see you tomorrow.
And if you are a very scared person, you can put 2 gloves on top of it. What else is there?
2 gloves on.
2 gloves on.
Not on. Not on.
You wait. You mean here?
Yes.
I don't understand what you said first. Okay, let's get that one then. Okay, I will. Hey,